Oh, Jesus. Can you get the transcript? What? We already ordered it. My lawyer told me this, although it sounds weird, but he says that apparently ordering transcripts or selling transcripts are how court reporters make their money. Do they get like a commission? Is that true? I would have just assumed that they get paid by the court. There's no way it gets sealed, right? I can't imagine. The problem is that, especially in federal court, probably in most courts, I don't think that the judges are like very carefully reading like every single request or motion or whatever. And there are some things that are very likely to just be granted, and there are some things that probably wouldn't be granted. And I feel like requests to seal files are generally granted because it's like what would be the interest against sealing something? So hopefully they deny this motion, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm pretty sure we're opposing that, but. Is it standard that plaintiff files proposed orders that are templates for the judge to fill out? That seems presumptuous, but I don't know if it's normal. I'm pretty sure that's normal. You always file the proposed order, and then the judge would just sign off on it. Are you a disgusting human being and wear shoes inside when you are home? Fuck no. Doesn't this mean it got granted? So this matters for the court of plaintiff, blah, blah, blah. So this is the order, right? Ordered and a judge of the motion is granted, the clerk of courts, blah, 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 so order, blah, blah, blah. So this here, if you scroll up, it says that this is a proposed order. And then here it's the text of the proposed order. So this is just what they're proposing. They write the order out, and then all the judge has to do is sign off on it. Testing. I practice in Florida State Court. Generally, we need to bring our own court reporter to a hearing on a motion to make sure there's a transcript. Interesting. Can they retroactively punish you for talking about it before it was sealed? I seriously doubt it. No. But again, like, it's public. This is a public courthouse. Like the guy in my chat that was there yesterday, the Zip guy, like anybody can just walk in and listen. So the idea of sealing it retroactively, if you want to have a closed session, then you would request it to be closed to the public beforehand, and then you wouldn't be able to leak or speak about specific matters, I guess, to it after. For some time at least, or whatever. Is it sealed yet? Well, no, but it's not even, the transcript hasn't been released yet. I think people are buying it. We ordered one, so I don't know how long it takes to arrive or.
Dumb, dirty bitch. I love Natalie. Hey, Red Lux here. Can you tell Merck to go live and more crying for us? Who the fuck is Red Lux? I don't understand why people say that.
Nice. Also, it's not your thing, I get it, but I sent an email regarding law school stuff. What does that mean? Like going to law? Dude, I would have to get my undergrad and everything. I would have to severely cut down on. The one thing that is frustrating to me that people don't realize, and it's hard to talk about it at all because I have a nice job, obviously, it's nice, but I don't think people realize that, like, I'm a full-time streamer. That is, like, well, I'm more over full-time. Like, I do more than 40 hours a week when it just comes to streaming. So people get mad that I'm also not, like, doing multiple podcasts, traveling to every single show, releasing all the prepared content, editing and doing all this other, it's like, I'm trying, okay? Actually, is there a way to see how much, was there a website? Stats track or Twitch track, or I thought there was a website that kept track. I'm curious, how many hours did I even stream last month? Oh, streamer stats. No, stream charts. This was it. I think I had an account on here. Jeez. So this was, you can math this out for what this actually was. So this was is this 30 days? Was 136 hours and 50 minutes. So 137 hours. So the average here is 6 hours a day, which would include for you guys Saturday, Sunday. So not just Monday through Friday, but this would include Saturday, Sunday. And I'm pretty sure I took 7 days off because I think I was gone, however many days this was, from the 25th to the 2nd. It's a lot of time, okay? Why not just try to pass the bar? You have to basically always go to some kind of law school to pass the bar. I feel like you've been over and fucked your viewers or your schedule. Yeah, we'll do something. Today's gonna be a boring day. I have to catch up on a bunch of shit. I'm just like, all my shit is dragging behind. What is this? Xena, fixing the engine. That's, Jesus, okay. Mike Ross didn't? True. It was about the Harvard Extension Program. Oh yeah, I saw you send me something about that. I don't know, we'll see, my dude. I got a lot of shit going on, okay? Wouldn't full-time be 160 hours a month? Yes. But this was, I was 23 hours short of that, but that's with a 7-day vacation. So like I'm streaming, and that's just hours like put onto stream, right? I don't know how many days off that was. Oh yeah, it was like 6 days off, right? Yo, did you see Hassan brought on Ian to talk to you? Good one. Oh shit, we might look at this while I work actually. Here you go. Good call.
I get it. Sometimes I critique the question you're asking, and you do this thing of like, this is not good for you to make fun of your host on the show. It's not working. I'm like, all right, I get it. I have not seen the documentary.
But you leave the documentary, so I'm going to ask you a question because I saw it.
You don't need to set it up as the documentary when I haven't seen it. If I did it in real life, you can just say, I understand you.
You're the one wasting time right now.
Fair enough.
You want to cover more Ukraine, Russia? I don't know. We'll see. I want to get back into the swing of reading and researching again. Now that I did that field trip, now that I'm back home, I just need to have my life settled again. What I have to do is I have to get some kind of rhythm set up to where a little thing doesn't knock everything out of whack. Because I just did this field trip thing, and then I just did the 2 days out to Tampa thing, and then I'm back and I was sick for a little bit. And every time I do this, I like fall behind on fucking everything, and then it takes me like 3 days to catch up, and then it's fucking annoying. Drew Pavlov DM'd you on Discord. I saw it. I might do it later. I don't want to do like a lot of like jokey, memey content. I just don't have the interest as much for it, but we'll see. Okay. What the fuck? You were in Tampa? Kind of. Sarasota, same thing. Oh, true. Yeah, and then I rebuilt this like last week, right? 2 weeks ago. I don't remember how long ago it was.
Hello, America. My name is Adam Friedland. I'm extremely excited to welcome you to the premiere episode of the new season of The Adam Friedland Show. On a weekly basis, I will be releasing episodes where I sit down with some of the world's most important and interesting people. And for our first guest, I was joined by none other than current candidate for New York City Council and former Congressman Anthony Weiner.
Don't forget you have so much traveling coming up with all the events. Not that much traveling coming up, I don't think. I have the New York thing. What do I have coming up? On the 22nd. And then I have something on the 12th of next month. So not that much travel. And East Coast stuff is fine because I can get in and out in a day. West Coast stuff kills me. California shit, like, it's a full day wasted of travel. And it's very, very hard for me to get in and out of California in a day. Like, I have to fly in. I have to take a flight out of here at like 7 a.m. Getting to California is easy because I'll land at around 12:30. It's about anywhere from 5.5 to 6 half-hour flight, but I gain 3 hours. But then whatever event I do there, I have to catch a red eye back here if there's one open. And I can't do a layover because it'll fuck my sleep. And it's just really, really, really hard. And 6.5 hours of shitty sleep. I can't do, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I can't do, being shorted on sleep actually just triggers the fuck out of me so much. It's like the one big trigger, and it's not even like a getting older thing. I've always felt this way. It's the one big trigger. Like sometimes when I'm like chatting with like even for like girls where you're like, oh yeah, it'd be so hot to be woken up and we're fucking and or you're blowing me or whatever. But like anytime this happens in real life, I'm like, why would you wake me up? It's only been 6 hours. Like I needed 2 more hours. My sleep would have been perfect. And you just woke me up for what? This is fucking so triggering. Get the fuck off me and let me sleep for 2 hours. Like it is the thing that triggers me more than anything else in the entire fucking world. Let me get my full goddamn sleep. Or people who are like, oh, let's go. We got to wake up. Haha. And it's like a joke. Oh, it's a joke that you are setting my brain on fire right now. This is a joke to you that my cerebral cortex is rotting away because you couldn't let me sleep for 2 more hours. Thank you. Oh God. Being short on sleep is like the one thing I cannot handle. It's my breaking point. Okay.
Now, it would be easy for me to prepare for my guest like a tabloid fixture. But let's not forget, Weiner is a seasoned and accomplished...
Okay, so today, for about an hour, I'm catching up on work, and then we're watching this, because I'm so behind on everything, okay? Jesus, all right.
like a tabloid fixture. But let's not forget, Weiner is a seasoned and accomplished politician, and above all else, a human being.
Is the 8 hours sleep a proven thing? Yeah, basically every human needs like 8 hours. I think there are some exceptionally rare people that can do it on 6 hours, or 6.5. It's just kind of rare. It's like a genetic thing, I think. I don't think there's anything you can do to program yourself for it, but.
So in order to prepare, I decided it was necessary for me to sit down with an expert on human psychotherapy, and I may have even learned a little bit about myself in the process. So without further ado, this.
A red rose and a romantic novel. That's how I told my guest to identify me today amongst the hustle and bustle of the High Line, one of New York City's many hidden gems. I was
hangry or sleep deprived, which gets you rustled more? Sleep deprived. Hangry is fine because I don't know that I'm hangry. I'm just upset. But so that's fine. So I'll just be angry. And then once I eat, I'll realize, oh, I was hangry. But I'm sleep deprived. I'm mad, and I know that I'm mad. When I'm hangry, I'm just hangry, and I don't realize I'm being hangry until afterwards, or if somebody points it out. But when I'm sleep mad, I'm mad, and I know I'm mad, and it makes me even more mad.
Was here to meet James Foley, a renowned psychotherapist to the rich and powerful. If anyone could help me get into the psychology behind Weiner, it was James. After a brief stroll through the neighborhood, we sat down in my Hudson Yards penthouse to discuss the psychological profiles of the men that have shaped our world.
I'm James Foley. I'm a psychotherapist. I treat men for sexual misbehavior, such as affairs, hiring sugar babies, and things like that.
Tell us where we can find you. Do you have an
Ironing sugar babies? What did he say?
I treat men for sexual misbehavior, such as affairs, hiring sugar babies.
Oh, hiring sugar babies.
And things like that.
Tell us where we can find you. Do you have an Instagram?
www.sexuallycompulsive.com.
What's the general profile of your client?
Yeah, so my practice is composed of high-functioning men, you know, like CEOs, guys who run banks.
High functioning? Ha, that means it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Film directors, art, even high-end artists, musicians. I've had elected officials.
Let's say like a man sends just like a picture of his erection like under his underpants, but he's like, I'm not showing full meat. Like, is that like in a psychological process? Is like, well, if I'm not showing full meat, then, you know what I mean?
Yes. So
he's like, but then obviously his wife sees it. He's like, well, obviously it's legal if I'm just showing dick print, but no full meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people who engage in these things will
make deals with themselves. Or?
Yes, they'll make a bargain with themselves and obviously get themselves hurt with that bargain. That doesn't really make sense.
Okay, what is the difference between when a man cheats and a woman cheats? You kind of indicated something.
But a lot of our programming as men and for women as women, like, it's different. And a lot of our programming is behind our irrational behavior. So you and I are guys, we got different programming typically than a woman would get, and then.
But they cheat. They cheat.
Oh, I'm not saying they don't cheat, but
a lot of them do cheat.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's immune from that. At least no.
Hey, Dusty, do you think after the lawsuit's over, you'd make content with BTC, Adam Mockler, any other lib YouTuber like you tried months ago? Maybe. Me and Adam talk sometimes. He seems like a cool dude, and Brian, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be more fun to jump into that world of things. We'll see. We'll see how the TikTok arc goes.
But the idea is what's powering it can be different.
So why would a girl cheat on her boyfriend? Like, if he's like, especially if he's a great guy and stuff.
I wouldn't know. That's a broad brush kind of thing.
It's just, but it's not. So it's.
Also, I just want to strap all this. I'm curious. How many of you use Threads? I have an account, never really post. I use it actively. I don't have a Threads account. I created one when it came out, but haven't used it since. I have an account, never really post, but sometimes browse, and then I use it actively. I feel like this is easily the most dead fucking... I wonder what's more dead, Threads or Blue Sky?
And there it was, straight from the horse's mouth. Women cheat.
It's just
No,
if he's like, especially if he's a great guy and stuff.
I wouldn't know.
What if
that's a
he's-
broad brush kind of thing.
It's just, but it's not.
Wait, he doesn't know why somebody would cheat, and he deals with like sexual compulsion and addiction or whatever? I feel like this would be right up his alley. I feel like he'd have insight into this now.
So it's.
And there it was, straight from the horse's mouth. Women cheat too.
Oh, he said he only deals with men. Oh, okay, sorry, gotcha. That makes more sense.
With that in mind, I was finally ready to take on my biggest challenge to date. Anthony Weiner. Pause.
Worst launch in history ever. The Zuck made it US only, mobile only for weeks. Pretty much dead on arrival just because of that. The US only thing might have hurt maybe. As much as I hate mobile only apps, I think that, and I hate all of you fuckers because it's your guys' fault too. I think mobile only is probably fine because so many of you fucking retards are okay with that. I hate all of you for this. I hate all of you. I hate all of you. I hate all of you. I hate all of you.
Our next guest is a former congressman. He was the youngest ever elected member of the New York City Council. He's run for mayor twice, and currently he is running in 2025 for City Council. Please welcome Anthony Weiner, everyone. Let's get some energy in this room. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
It's my pleasure to be here.
We talked on the phone for 10 minutes.
We did. It was
Yeah.
a good talk. You want this in your cup so we can... Oh, no, it's already got water.
We have water in the cup, and I would appreciate it if you just featured the
No,
logo.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought. So this
Maybe.
is like, yours is white, mine is black, like Spy versus Spy styles.
Yeah, so you're
Gotcha.
you're a big fan of the show.
This one?
Yes.
Maybe the biggest? Which tells you a little something about the show,
He
but
sent
yeah.
dozens of emails. Actually, your email style is very funny because you just go last name, no like sincerely.
Correct.
go
Oh, yeah.
last name.
I think there's a lot of wasted words generally in the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's what...
I think Dean and Parker use a splitter to route audio from their phones to their headphones and to the streaming PC at the same time. I'm just going to try to do it from desktop. Can you join lives and stuff on desktop and guest and host and stuff on the desktop app, hopefully?
I like that your show's about 8 minutes. It's quick in and out.
Were you like a last name guy, like with your friends? It's kind of a.
Well, I mean, Wiener kind of lends itself to that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, yeah.
So growing up, you were Wiener to your boys.
Yeah.
I saw your.
God, what an unfortunate last name. Hey, Dustin, I was watching Hutch earlier and some DGG peeps are pushing back on Hutch for distancing himself from you. Felt like it's reflected poorly on DGG, but wanted to know your thoughts. I don't think that people should harass anybody ever. I think that's stupid. I am looking for more of a stand tall on thing, though. I think I'm probably going to encourage a little bit more, not aggressive behavior, but the apologetics like have to stop. It's too much. It's too cringe. I don't want any of this shit anymore. Like, oh, like this, like, you know, it's like it's the actual meme, but even my community does it. Like, yeah, Destiny is kind of a horrible piece of shit, like trash human, but you know, he has like good political, like that. This is cuck. This is fucking retarded. I'm gonna try to start discouraging this behavior. Okay, it's too cringe.
Your Patrick Bet David thing.
Had you- yeah.
So growing up, you were Wiener to your boys.
Yeah.
I saw your Patrick Bet David thing.
Had you heard of that guy? See, this is what...
That guy is amazing. I saw a video of him recently where he's like, 4 years ago, technology. 3 years, pandemic. 2 years ago, vaccine. This year, AI technology.
Yeah.
He just says sentences like that, and like guys are like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay $10,000 to go to the seminar. Yeah, and he's a billionaire now.
No, I asked these questions because I'm on
So
terrestrial
you
radio
went there,
here in
you
New York.
didn't know who the fuck that guy was.
What did you know about the Hassan episode of Adam Friedland? Like, it seemed like you were hinting that you knew why it was delayed. Was it massively cut short? Was I hinting at it? What did I say? I think I asked him about it in person a little bit. And I think they said they just didn't feel like it went all too well. I don't think there was anything juicy there. Believe it or not, despite the insane amounts of projection that everybody else does, when I show up, I'm generally pretty careful not to start shitting on every other like person in the industry, because I feel like it reflects poorly on you. And I feel like when you do that, I feel like the signal that you're sending is you're going to do it to them next. So it's pretty rare that I'll just start dumping on somebody that's in industry with me, but whatever. Jesus. Anthony Weiner is running in 2025 New York City Council election against New York State Assemblyman Harvey Epstein. What an election. My God. You taught us to hedge 100% of the time. Of course we do. Yeah, we need to hedge less. I need to be better about that. Is Pisco going to cover it? Did he already cover court stuff? I feel like since that's his bread and butter, if he doesn't, that would say a lot. Maybe, maybe not. But also it's a little bit more on the drama side. So even if he hadn't made any statements publicly, I wouldn't really expect him to. It's not really his bread and butter for content he does, I don't think.
I'm not saying like I didn't do anything I got on a plane and flew down there, but it's more kind of like this season of saying yes to arguing with people. And so I didn't quite, and I had a certain, like once I looked it up a little bit and I saw that there was no, it was just a person who just ran. Became kind of fascinated to understand what exactly was going on. Because I'm trying to understand this a little bit. Like
this is okay.
You don't think you're a kindred spirit with him in terms of what you're trying to do? Like,
no, certainly not.
Not on substance, but in the general, like people want to look at interesting shit nowadays.
Can you blame them for the initial situation? What you did was no worse than your average high schooler, maybe, well, allegedly. But the lie she spread initially was mega scary. I think you should be open to people like Pisco or Turkey Tom. The problem is that, like, the thing that I don't like, is, well, especially for people like in the Turkey Tom camp, is like so many of these people do this thing where they're like, oh no, like we should wait for all the information to come out. We should wait for all the facts to come out. And they'll say this when it's like other people and it's not related to them. But then nobody will actually do that when it might like cost them a little bit. So this is like a thing that I feel. I'm going to try to present this without sounding too conceited, but I don't give a fuck if I do, actually. I don't care. When I was in the carpet cleaning stuff, okay, so bad life trajectory, not too much going on. I think my mindset then is the same as my mindset now, where it's like, if I had resources, the whole point of getting those resources is to be able to expend them, like when I want to, right? So if I have a lot of money right now and I care about political stuff, then I want to spend it like trying to do political things, right? So whether that's canvassing, supporting campaigns, or door knocking, or whatever the fuck, like why not? Like this is the whole point in, like, if I'm accruing resources in terms of money, then I would do that, right? If I'm accruing resources in terms of reputation, well, I would want to lend my reputation to like causes that I think are good, especially ones that I think are unfairly castigated by others on the internet. So like coming out defending Chud Logic when I thought those DM leaks were ridiculous. Coming out and defending Prime Kais when I thought he was getting trampled and he just couldn't deal with that one chick that was accusing him of stuff. Or when I see people like not waiting for all the information to come out, I was like, yeah, it feels like sometimes people will build up all of these resources, but then they're really, really, really afraid of actually expending any of them to do a thing they believe in. And instead it just becomes this massive accruing resources game. And I don't know, that just feels kind of cringe to me. But like, what would be the point of building up all this clout of reputation and stuff if I could throw it around a little bit behind causes that I believe in? Like, people want zero risk investments with all of their stuff. And I just feel like that's a little, But Tom and Pisco both couched language, which is why I brought them up specifically. With your reputation, that was a lot to ask. I think that, unfortunately, as annoying as it is, the problem is I feel like a lot of my reputational harm has come from, one, me letting memes go on for too long, and two, that exact mentality of maybe it's okay that if anything looks even remotely crazy ever, then you just let everybody take a huge step back until they see, where the cards fall. And I don't want sycophantic support, and it's always hard to balance these two things out. Like, I don't want sycophants. But after I did that JonTron conversation, the JonTron guy, he said a lot of crazy things. And again, if you go watch that convo, I wasn't even trying to necessarily like bait him into insane shit. Like, there were times where I tried to give him an offer. I was like, damn, are you sure about this? Like, really? Racially, they have to be racially, integrated? Like, seriously? Genetically? Like there were offers I tried to give him. But after the JonTron thing, bro, every single artist, every single e-guy, like, stood so tall on his reputation trying to destroy me afterwards just because they didn't like how that conversation went. And I don't think I would ever want support like that. But I don't think I need a lot of people or want a lot of people in my corner who are like, oh, yeah, like, a bad thing happened, so we're going to, you know, scatter and then wait and see what it looks like ever. It's like, it's just, meh.
Not on substance, but in the general, like, people want to look at interesting shit nowadays. We don't really care what it is.
The objective with our show is this, right? The internet makes...
Someone should have told me this sentence before, but go ahead.
I actually did. No. I'll tell you this right now. I talked to him on the phone. He's like, and he's like, and you make money from this? And I was like, well, you know, we were on a podcast for morons for 6 years, and then the fat one left to do crowd work, and so then we changed it because I was kind of the schmuck, I was the nebbish, right. And we rebranded it to make me into an intellect.
You say that now, and I feel like you've said it in the past, and you end up welcoming people back. Yeah, I know, but I think I've gotten a little bit better over the past year of not doing that as much, and then after this last thing, I think I'll continue on that trend.
For 6 years, and then the fat one left to do crowd work, and so then we changed it because I was kind of the schmuck, I was the nebbish, right. And
fuck, I keep pausing this. Unironically, I only saw Myron stand for you. Maybe, yeah, and Myron didn't even really stand for me. Myron was the only one who actually, which is so fucking sad and pathetic, but maybe, I don't know what it is. Myron was the only one that had like an actual mature take on if you have a friend who fucks up or whatever, basically, which is like publicly, you're not going to pile on. And then privately, you know, you basically call him and you say, hey, stop being a fucking retard. Like, how are you doing? That was basically his message. Like, yeah, actually, that would be incredibly nice if anybody could handle doing that. So, you know. Abba kind of had that take too. No, Abba's take was fucking dog shit. It was just a bunch of hand-wringing virtue bullshit. Abba's take was easily one of the worst. I just haven't bothered to go through it, but it's fucking cringe. But Destiny, what made the situation worse was that it was Pixie. That is true. And the way that she wrote that Substack was insanely unhinged, for sure. But I think also, well, actually, this doesn't matter anymore because since for the past like year and a half, I just don't like hook up with or do anything like that with like streamer people. It's just, I realize it's not worth it to ever be like, it's having like real life friends and people that are outside of the industry is just way better. It's not worth it. Because everybody there is like, it's just too crazy and everybody's prone to doing the most insanely stupid, retarded shit. And there's just too much pressure for it. Wait, fuck, I was answering a different question. I don't remember what I was answering. Oh. Yeah, I'm nothing with streamer people anymore. Fuck that. It's just not worth it.
Well, you know, we were on a podcast for morons for 6 years, and then the fat one left to do crowd work, and so then we changed it because I was kind of the schmuck, I was the nebbish, right. And we rebranded it to make me into an intellectual talk show host, and then this was amazing what you did.
What about with Kyla? I think Kyla's been fine for the most part. I don't think she's ever... There have been like a couple ways that she's handled things, I think she said, where I'm like, whatever. But no, I think for the most part, I think she tried to stand, I think where she felt was right on that, which is fine.
You let like a little pregnant pause after my whole soliloquy goes, and you go, well, you took me on quite the journey there, but you did not in any way, shape, or form answer my question.
No, I don't say way, shape, or form. I don't think people talk like that. I just said I didn't get the answer.
You were like, vis-a-vis, et cetera, you did not.
All right.
I'm but a Southern lawyer.
Who did the notes for you? Who did the sample question? Like, did you do that on your own?
No, I have an
you got the manager?
I have a room full of women of color who are my writers.
I thought it might just be
I don't have a single honky ass. Okay, right. Well, that does not go in the episode. Okay, you're born in 1964 in New York City.
I was, yes.
Okay, and you're a Brooklyn boy.
I grew up in Brooklyn, right.
Where, you're Park Slope?
Park Slope, 6 between 8th and the Park.
Fabulous.
Yes, 39, Junior High School 51.
How was was the food co-op there at the time?
No, it was a very different kind of vibe then.
Where are you now?
Lower East Side.
Lower East Side?
Well, East Village.
Well,
Alphabet City.
It's too loud.
Yes, too loud.
It's too loud in these.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there.
And then you have like an NYU vomit when you walk outside.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
And your mother was an educator
Or a math teacher.
or math teacher.
Well, educator. Who are you trying to impress? She's a teacher. Teacher.
I was trying to compliment your mother.
I'm not sure
Why
why.
are you trying to shit on your?
No,
Okay.
why are you down branding teacher?
I think it's an umbrella term.
Which one?
Educator.
Right, and a more precise one is teacher. She was a teacher.
Okay, your dad, an attorney.
He was like a little neighborhood attorney. He kind of hung a shingle outside our house, that kind of vibe.
Just like a family law practice.
He did some real estate stuff. Yeah, I don't really know for sure. Like did some real estate closings, that kind of thing. Wasn't big enough. He's like for people who wouldn't have Jacoby Myers, but they wouldn't have a big firm. They'd have like Grau and Weiner.
And did they split it up when you were a kid?
When I was in college.
When you were in college?
Your parents together?
My mother passed away.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to
They
hear
were
that.
together for 40 years. Yeah.
Yeah, my thing was like my dad passed away recently. My thing was when my parents. Man, I can tell the story. The story's really not apropos of anything. Go ahead.
Tell the story. What?
No, it's just when they split up.
Let me tell. Okay.
When
take a pause. This is a
Literal
political
pause or just
no,
a pause in the conversation?
Shut the fuck up. No, okay. People want to know you as a human being.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right, so let me continue.
Yeah.
So when they broke up when I was like in my 20s.
Okay, hurry up.
And I'm like, exactly. That was like so.
That was a jack. Come on, I'm a schmuck.
Kind of weak.
You gotta pop.
What is that?
It gotta pop. It gotta pop.
I understand what that
It
tells
gotta
me.
pop.
No, I wasn't beefing about you. Like you.
Oh my God.
You know, there's the.
Sorry, I'm not trying.
No, I'm not beefing about you. You never. What is it? You never
Okay,
miss the
sorry,
shots you don't
I
take.
gotta laugh. I'm not trying to do a whip of a pork
about
barrel backroom
No, it
deal
takes-
in the fucking halls of or
No,
whatever.
it takes a little while for me to figure out where the crowd is. This is not a very strong crowd. I mean, they're just laughing at
It's
like.
4 guys.
Yeah.
What do you mean not a strong crowd? They laughed at Weiner? Sorry, your last
did.
name.
Put on the Sony State of Play? Yeah, tell me when it starts.
Your last name means bean. It's not a big deal.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. There was like. Did you think you were like? I'm fine, dude. There's another guy in Congress named Dick Armey.
Here's the thing: is Dick.
You're like what? Compared to Dick Armey, this is not that bad.
There was Norm Dix too.
Rob, being
Norm
pot, thanks for the 2
Dix?
gifted
In
subs.
Washington.
Yeah.
You see, this is what it'll take.
It's funny. It's funny, okay?
Okay.
And you're not a coward like that goddamn John Stewart Leibowitz trying to erase our culture. New York City kids. My girlfriend grew up in the Upper West Side. I didn't grow up here. And I feel like you guys grow up faster. Like my friends that grew up in the city, they're like, I had my coke phase at 13.
Yeah.
They kind of become adults
I
faster.
guess so. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the kind of the argument. Public schools, you bounce off a lot of different types of people. Plus, growing up in the '70s, you get mugged a lot. Like, yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
And you were going to Manhattan with your friends in high school?
High school, yeah. Actually, the same neighborhood I live in now, we would kind of go and it would, just to see how edgy it was, that kind of stuff.
Where are you going? Studio 54?
No.
Andy
We would go
Warhol's
to like
Factory.
we go to like Rocky Horror, walk
Rocky Horror?
Yeah, like St. Mark's, that kind of style.
But that's for fucking nerds.
Yeah,
You're
but
doing
that's
that thing
probably
where
a
you throw things?
fair characterization of like where I was.
I would have been at CBGB's if I was you.
You?
Yeah, if I was your age in New York City.
So you're gonna say you were cool then? Now what happened? What is
I've
this?
always been one of the coolest guys. No, so I mean, I guess New York in the 70s is characterized as like a completely different place.
Yes.
You've lived here for most of your life, like.
Oh, my whole except when I was in college and
Yeah.
in prison, I was here. And in Washington, I would go back and forth.
Yeah. I used to live in D.C. I went to college there.
Where?
GW.
Oh. You're just like this. Yeah, you're a Jew through and through, huh?
No, they gave me the most money.
Your girlfriend Jewish?
Why? Yeah,
I'm just curious.
What are you, my fucking
I'm
parent?
just curious. I'm
She's
sorry.
20. Her mom's half Jewish. 25% is my max.
Okay.
Oh my God, they don't. I can't stand it.
Sorry.
No, it's not.
No, I'm trying to gauge the level of the back and forth. You do the questions. I'll do
we're
just
having
the
fun.
answer.
I'm just doing a shtick where I'm like, oh.
And I'm doing.
What
a
are you,
shtick
my
to-
mother?
And I'm doing a shtick to being offended by like being apologetic. We're just all doing it.
Listen, you could have been a nightclub comedian in another life. I could have been a member of the U.S. House of Representatives.
You probably could have been.
We in parallel universes.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Vegas.
Yeah, you could have. You
Yeah,
could have been like Shelley Berkeley or something
Which
like
I
that.
worked for Shelley Berkeley.
Yeah,
I
you
told
could have been that. That could have been you.
I was an intern when I was a junior in high school at the Congresswoman's field office.
Yeah.
Me and my best friend Alex were interns there, and we'd like wear like a shirt.
Do you remember what office were you in? Do you remember?
Do you know the the field offices of Shelley.
Oh, you were in the
Vegas.
district office.
Yeah, she was my congresswoman.
Got it.
And,
So you weren't really committed. You were like just doing it.
What do you mean committed? I was in high school. I had to go back home
Oh, there are
afterwards.
people that do internships in Washington.
Not in the middle of school. I just did it to get out of 8th period.
There you go.
Okay, so I'd go.
I think that's the definition of not being committed, is when you say, I just want to get out of 8th period.
But I got good. What was your GPA graduating?
It's a little bit.
What was your
in
SAT?
high school?
In high school.
I don't think I had a 3.
You didn't have a 3.
I don't think so. I was
Damn.
not a great student. But listen, I still got. Have you heard of Harvard?
What?
Fuck, that was so late.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Harvard University.
Yeah, I didn't go there, but I just want to make sure you heard of it. But I went to the state. You see now I know the room.
You went to Plattsburgh.
I went to Plattsburgh State.
Me and my friend Alex, when we were working at our congresswoman's office, we'd have to like wear a shirt.
You said Blue Sky is dying too. Blue Sky has roughly 700,000 daily posters, with the number falling consistently since Trump's second inauguration. I mean, that's actually not bad. 'Cause I would have expected this to look way, way, way worse. Although this is on the timescale of months, actually. That's a lot of user loss, I guess, actually, in just a few months. But because at this rate, in about a year, they might have lost. I guess I don't know where you'd measure from. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Look at Threads. That has a decent amount of market share. I don't even know where you'd see that information at. Stop. I didn't mean to play that. iDubbbz panic texted his former coach before he called into the H3 expose show today. Hey, Michael, not sure if this is clickbait or not, but saw your face on H3 podcast thumbnail. Let me know if it's real and if you want to talk. I'm hoping it's just some clickbait because I'd be happy to talk if you had unresolved feelings about any side. Wait, what? Oh, no. What happened? His former coach for what, like boxing? The things the coach were saying were wild. Like Anissa demanded 50% of iDubbbz' training time, even though she wasn't even fighting. Training for what? Like boxing training? Really? Bloodborne this year for sure? Wait, is there no PC Bloodborne port yet? Do you remember when Bloodborne first came out and every time you died it was literally a 45-second wait? Not like, it was like 5 seconds, but it felt like 45 seconds. I think it was literally like a 30 to 45-second loading time every time you died because they had to reset like every single fucking and reload every single asset. Do I have a PS5? I don't think so, no. I played Final Fantasy 15, so I had whatever console that was on. Wait, is PS5 the one with the blue line in it? Whoops. Or is that a PS4? Oh, do I have this? Maybe, did I buy this at Molina's? Maybe it's still there. What was that when Rittenhouse happened? Because I was playing a console in that apartment when the Rittenhouse thing happened. Why are you watching this? You don't even play games? You're just going to say about everything? There's one game I will play and sink some screen time into, if it comes out. And that is a remaster of Final Fantasy Tactics, okay? Did you play Bloodborne on stream? Yeah, a long time ago.
Hello from Enhance. I'm 哲也水口。
ディレクターの石原隆です。ルミネスアライズのトレーラー楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。この秋、プレイステーション5、PSVR2 対応で発売予定です。ルミネスアライズはバラエティ豊かな曲と美しいビジュアルが没入感を高め、いつまでも遊びたくなるゲーム体験となっています。その世界はとても心地よく、プレイヤーを共感覚の世界へと導きます。
まあよくある普通のパズルゲームってことだよね。テトリスエフェクトを一度遊んだことがある人はわかると思いますが、ルミネスアライズはただのパズルゲームではありません。
夏にシングルとマルチプレイの体験版を配信予定です。ぜひ皆さん手に取って遊んでみてください。
Thank you and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
What is that face? Sorry, I just getting more understanding the TikTok meta. Was Takesha, was this somebody that was in a live last night? Just reading these messages, apparently she's sending her Discord. Hey everyone, we have had a long journey here and I truly do love you all. With TikTok lightly coming to an end, I took a look and everything and I'm ready to move on. I appreciate every single thing that you have all gone through with me, but for my final announcement, I want to give you some final thoughts that I hope you all will think about in the Discord's absence. Here are all my final thoughts. I hate white people. It will never go away. And I want to humbly apologize to all my fellow Negroes that I called crazy for saying that they also hate white people. I'm so sorry. These niggas suck, and I hope their fucking aorta splits right open. Okay? White dudes for Harris is so inconceivably racist. And if you have white faves that touted that shit and you still fuck with them, die. If you don't understand why that's racist, die. Her name is Tashika, not Takesha. Oh. Nothing I did, not a single thing was that serious. I do not care, touch grass or money. I don't know, do something. Haters, you can kill yourself, especially if you're white. Live stream it in 4K HD, VR even. I wholly regret allowing for troglodytic, nasty, decrepit, parasitic, worthless, downtrodden animals to influence how I was supposed to react to my abuse and my trauma. This is mine to deal with, and not for others to critic. And if you did jump, I'm not a liberal or a feminist anymore. Those titles do not serve me or any black woman ever. I'm a womanist, and that is it. If you call me having strong reactions to racists, say crash out, I want you to jump. I hate liberals. Y'all are some of the worst of the worst. If you always have liberal, I want you nowhere near me. Who is this? I don't know. Somebody who's in this like live space, I guess. Is in like these debate circles. Jesus. Wow, that looked awesome. I like the part with the kid at the end, where they had the magical powers.
Hey.
And where they were... No.
I said I am D.
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Wow. That was crazy, guys. Oh my god. I'm crying. I'm literally crying.
Today is Saturday, which means curry time.
Awesome, I love curry.
Speaking of curry, apparently the current president is actually a humane. What does that mean? It's okay, I'll get it.
Curry time.
Romeo, stay with me. I'm gonna die. Romeo, listen up. You're gonna die in about 15 seconds. Seriously? Seriously. Don't worry. I made this just in case. The Dead Gear life support system. Don't move, okay? You're already half dead. From now on, you're half dead man. No, wait, that's pretty lame. Dead man. From now on, you're dead man.
I'm a dead man.
Wow, that was crazy, guys. Oh my god.
Romeo is a dead man. Coming 2026. Maybe.
Huh? That was Grandpa's voice. Are you like a spirit? I'm on your back. What?
皆さんこんにちは。グラスホッパーの役者の須田剛一です。いえいえ。皆さんトレーラーどうでした？グラスホッパーの久々の新作ロミオ・イザ・デッドマンです。いよいよ発表できました。このゲームはですね、主人公のロミオがロミオ・スターゲーザーという名前なんですけど、かっこいいでしょ。時空犯罪 FBI 捜査官として、凶悪なですね指名手配犯をさまざまな時空に飛んで、倒していく、そんな、ブラッディなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね、剣だけじゃありません、銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして、
Good one. Wait, real quick, I can't believe that DoorDash doesn't just have like a previous orders thing on DoorDash. You can't just click to order the same thing you ordered before. Is that really not on this fucking app? That seems impossible. They do? Where is it?
ステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
It's in the orders tab.
どこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。今は誰かと喋りたくて。
You have to go to your orders and it should be options there. Where I see home, grocery, shopping, browse, me. What is the orders tab?
裏切り者。
Tap account. You mean the me thing? Me. And then you mean top orders? Or oh shit, orders up here. Oh, I see. You're lucky.
こんなの絶対に変。俺もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし。いや、ひらこ。
Oh my god. Is this a Souls-like, guys? It's Silent Hill. Oh, French. You're interested in The Witcher 4? It looks cool, but I don't know if I'll have time to play it. I don't believe any of the demos I've seen so far, though. Absolutely not. Not even close to believing those.
The castle has been sighted again. The church's orders are absolute.
Those demos are easily believable. They are full of massive graphical artifacts and smearing. Only mildly surprising thing is no micro stutters. Oh no, I meant the animations and interactions while they were walking through that town. I believe graphics can be good.
Does that dwell within? The Demon Lord himself will fall by our hand. This mission will test the limits of your courage. You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts that defy reason. Creatures born of pure darkness.
Thousand Blossom! Die on jaw! With me! Cross Reaper!
Tonight, we start our mission!
So you've come, dogs of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
The visuals of Shinjuku that I'm seeing are a hellscape I can't quite put into words. You've somehow been sent back in time 8 years. But the situation here is critical.
Have you started getting any white hair? I'm your age, I might have started. Some guys start getting gray hairs as early as like 20 or something. I have a few on my beard if you can see them, and a couple on my hair.
Ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
Oh my god, anime video games!
Is that what you call us, Digimon? I'll always be right here.
Digimon!
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Who or what is that?
You really don't know anything about the digital world?
We have been enemies for years now, but this is the first time the Titans have launched an attack on
What
this
about your
scale.
pubes? Wait, is your pubic hair gray? It must, right? All your hair on your body grays, right?
Coming battle
Never
is
thought about
truly
that.
unavoidable.
The world on this end is running out of time.
If the gate is opened with the digital world in such a state, the human world will most certainly be affected.
Do the Titans not care about the end of the digital world?
What?
Stop it! That egg is very important!
The World Tree has been attacked. It is just as the Great One, Plutomon, said.
It can't protect anyone. We must protect the world from them for this purpose and this purpose alone.
Getting integrated into the TikTok meta. Somebody wrote me a 6-step guide. Take every opportunity to jump in because they, quote, just want to correct one thing, end quote, but then they just lay out all their points. 2, treat any interjections as interruptions. 3, allow their friends to do a full round robin until they let you speak again. 4, interject the second it's your turn again, and you refer to them as a collective in any way, so one of them can say one of them didn't do that, and then talk again for minutes. 5, justify their interruptions with your attempt to reclaim your time. And then 6, once you finally insist on dedicated time to make a point, and it's obvious now what they're doing, they hit you with a, I'm going to let you make your point, but I'm going to have to get going after this, only to start a new live where they talk about the current live. Somebody else also told me yesterday that people on TikTok are like obsessed with meta conversations, like talking about the talk. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, Father, abandon not your way with children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
If you feel wronged, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
The powerful must
They're going to
rule
do
the
Japanese
weak. It is
voices,
our
right?
duty. Heaven.
Subterfuge and
Blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path? Path of subterfuge and conflict.
The power.
What is this? Past and present? The fuck is this bullshit?
Must rule.
Okay.
The weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
Do you remember?
No.
When your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass?
The classic version unites the graphics and gameplay of the original with the renowned War of the Lions translation. The enhanced version features a renewed interface, extensive additions and adjustments to the story, fully voiced dialogue, and much more. Wow. (9/30/2025). Wait, what is the console? Are we just supposed to know? Are these all PS5 games, or?
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann, here to deliver news and release dates for games coming to PS5 later this year.
We hope you enjoyed that first look at Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. The game will include 2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic, the enhanced version, which features improved graphics, fully voiced dialogue, refined gameplay, and much more, as well as the classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 1997 original to modern consoles. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles launches on PS5 and PS4 September 30th, and will be available for pre-order later today.
This next game is something really special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed. Let's check it out.
But is there maybe just toilet?
Toilet?
Yeah, sorry, I just need to pee.
How badly? Just go behind this bush, I'll wait.
I can run away.
Pee shy.
No.
Yeah, no, you don't want me watching.
You can watch.
In baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in front of the other, which is easier said than done. Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make even the simplest progress. It's a captivating open-world experience filled with oddball characters.
Here we go. Fuck off. Oh, you found it even without a map. The best toilet on the mountain.
Oh, good.
Definitely check this one out when it comes to PS5 on September 8th.
Hirogami is a unique action-adventure title from Bandai Namco Studios Singapore. In this journey to save your origami home, you'll transform into paper shapes with distinct abilities, including a paper airplane, a nimble frog, a hardy armadillo, and a powerful ape. Master the art of folding when Hirogami arrives on PS5 later this summer. Sid, why don't you tee this next one up?
Thanks, Sean. The Hot Shots series has been with PlayStation from the very beginning, and its latest installment, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, boasts its largest character roster ever. Compete in courses from 10 different regions around the world, each with weather effects and new nighttime variants. Pre-orders begin later today, and those who do will get Bandai Namco's iconic Pac-Man as an early unlockable character. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots drives onto PS5 September 5th.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a challenging new entry in the long-running action franchise.
Okay, I don't know if I care about any more of this. Okay, my kick people. Is there a kick? Puggy linked me a Bowtricks.live. Is this the chat bot you guys were talking about? Is this what we need for chat? You're getting TTS? I will probably never get TTS again. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know about this iDubbbz coach thing. Okay, I'm done watching the state of play. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see the Final Fantasy Tactics thing, okay?
Then
Sound like you need some rest? I think I was sick for a few days. My voice is still recovering. What is this?
Because then we went back to the hotel and then they were eating at Denny's and they said we need to have a meeting. So I had to go to Denny's and they pretty much then talked about how they were going to have to fire me because I reminded Ian of his father when his father would yell at him as a kid. Because then
Really?
they still did nothing with that footage or the footage you guys had as well.
Yeah. So, and I think with that.
Oh man, this is a full.
I think for the first fight,
I thought it was gonna be like a 5-minute thing. This is a full ass show with these guys.
Put out his content deputy in the same day.
Oh man. Oh, Ian must have been hella scared if he texted them beforehand and he was like, "Hey, just checking. Are we good, dude?" Oh no.
And he got.
I assume you can't talk to Asmund still, even though he's on kick right now, right? Asmund does not want to talk to me for a good reason. He's smart to do that. So we can talk whenever he wants, but.
More views than Ian's new video. And this dude has, well, he has 51,000 subs now, which is really cool.
Fantastic job.
Michael, that's what it is. This is frankly shocked the hell out of me. This got more views than this. I'm R2K. Can you turn your funnel again? Maybe we'll fix.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe it has rotate. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you. There it is.
Thank you.
Harley, you here? Can you hear me?
Harley, you're muted. I was talking on a muted microphone. Can you hear me?
Jesus. He's lost a ton of weight, right? Or am I crazy? Also, again, I'm sorry, real quick. How do I make it so that, I thought we did this yesterday, so that Discord doesn't know about any of the other apps on my computer? Why does Discord have like an OBS Studio app thing popping up on it? It shouldn't, I don't know how it knows this. Why did this get turned on?
Harley, everybody.
Hey.
We sure can, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, Harley actually put me in touch with these guys. And so how did you guys connect? Kind of Michael, Kate, and Harley, you guys were in touch, right?
Well, I know them from Creator Clash, actually. That's how I met them. And I never saw the clip, Michael, of you saying that you could beat up all the coaches. I'm telling Mike.
Game overlay. Like, I'm clicking game overlay and all of it is turned off. So I don't even know why. How it knows that I have OBS open.
Coach, we'll see about that. I don't know. He's not going as hard as you do every day, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was streamer mode. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I don't know where he gets all that energy. I'm not a morning person, so someone like Michael would piss me off. I feel like he's good to go first thing in the morning.
Is that right, Michael?
Not always, no. Sometimes I need a couple cups of coffee.
Oh my God, I
human.
love your guys' dog. Harley, 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 stand back. I love your doggy. What? A girl or boy?
Girl, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Aw, she looks so like a little puppy still.
Yeah, she's still good, yeah.
What's her name?
Winnie, like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, I love her. She's got a little bowl cut.
Yeah, well, her hair's too long right now. We had to shave her body because we were up.
I have two terriers. I've got a Yorkie and
we met one of them when we were there.
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
So, guys, first of all, thanks for calling. I really appreciate it. Oh, great. Hold on one sec, sorry. I have to request access for myself.
Turn off activity privacy. Oh.
To work.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All of that's
you guys
turned
know
off
AB,
as well.
right? AB was singing your praise, Michael. You were in his corner, right? Because his coach was unable to attend. That was so nice of you.
Yeah, I love AB. Yeah, I helped him train for a little while as well. I helped a lot of the fighters from Creator Clash 1 train. But yeah, I love AB. He's a great guy. Yeah, I'll be in his corner any day.
There it is. Oh,
thanks, bud.
So
appreciate you. I actually, we were supposed to go out to eat, the three of us, recently, but my grandma got sick and I had to bail last minute. But nice to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah.
And Kate, what did you do for Creator Clash?
I traveled with Ian and Nisa along with Michael, and I did all the recording for all the sparring sessions, all the meetups with all the YouTubers, even small interviews with like Eric, who also fought on DC1. So I have a ton of content, and Ian promised us that he was going to put out this documentary that was going to share the journey of how Michael took this video game nerd and turned him into a boxer. And so that's how they sold it to us when they first came to us. And so I was super psyched that this was going to be a way for me to help build my husband's brand and also put the work out there. But it never came through. And so when he most recently put that video out saying that he told a big lie and he was never going to put out a documentary, and all he has is a ton of 4K videos of him doing stupid shit or something like that, it was actually very hurtful to me.
That's your footage that he's talking about your footage.
Yeah, exactly. 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah. Before the 61 was filmed.
It was 9 months, yeah.
Was he paying you at the time, or like, how was he compensating you?
Yeah, he did. So I do want to say that, like, for dynamic filming, I usually charge $150 an hour for dynamic filming. But because I was under the impression that this is going to charity, me and Michael, would always scale back on charging them. So, for example, instead of charging him $150 an hour, I would charge him $100 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way, I've heard that from other professionals now. I'm starting to hear people say that, who, like one of the announcers put out a video recently, maybe you guys saw it. He was like, Wade? Yeah, he was like, they offered me a salary or they offered me payment, but I declined it because I was like, it's for charity, I'm good. But then they took that money that he generously forfeit, a guy who's not rich, by the way, and gave it to all the fucking creators. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were also promised a bonus on CC1, and we never got it. But because Michael was so nice, he didn't want to, like, make Ian feel uncomfortable and ask Ian and Nisa about it. I was pretty upset by it, and I thought it wasn't fair because how is it that we put on this great event, we raised $1.3 million for charity, and he promised us a bonus, and then right after the event, he just kind of pretend like he's too busy to check in with us, and then we...
Yeah, after the event, like, once the event ended, I didn't see him again for about 5 months. So, because he was working with Dax on some show, and so he never trained. So the only 8 times that Ian ever actually trained was, I trained him from July until May, and then I didn't see him again pretty much for several months. And then he started training again to fight Alex. Pretty much we started at like...
From July to May, for like almost a year, he means? Or did he mean from May to July?
The end of December. And then that's when like they had to kind of get serious with the camp because they realized like Alex was training hard. So really I only had 10 months with him to begin with, and then about 4+ months with him for the second event, and then I've never seen him again since then.
Damn, okay.
You know, I was talking to AB. I think it was pretty normal that the boxers at least gave their coaches a tip, especially because you were there. You weren't just working for him. You were helping everybody out. It seems like you guys were both like super involved in this event.
Yeah, one of the reasons he was even able to kind of connect with Manny Pacquiao's people who hooked him up with
tip your coaches, guys.
Michael Leonardi was like one of our connections. Our friend Eric ran into a guy in a bar in Vegas, and that was the guy they were supposed to get a hold of, but he was not reaching back to him. So we were able to get them connected with the people that connected them with Michael Leonardi. So we were literally there I was there from the beginning for everything.
So you guys had a really unique point of view where you had like a front row seat to everything. Yeah. It seemed like you were with them intimately more than probably anyone else involved in this event. So there's all these interesting little details that you guys shared with me. For example, one being that I think it was you, Kate, that mentioned that he and Anissa did in fact pay for Hassan and all of his compadres to travel to and stay at Creator Clash 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were talking about that long before, about how they had to fly in all these people. First of all, they rented the hotel for over 300 creators and flew a lot of them in. When the first year it was much more scaled back. We just had a couple floors.
They rented the hotel for 300 creators. Holy shit. Wait, did they ever post like how much they actually spent, like line item, like on each thing? Or did they just give like broad amounts?
Of like some place, like a nice sweet place, but it wasn't extravagant at all. And then the second year, they did that full hotel for 300 creators. They flew a lot of people in. One of the people they flew in was Fraudy Tonic, and they flew him in from France.
That's insane.
And Fraudy had told us that he was there to salvage the documentary.
Yeah.
And that was super offensive to us because we're like, what do you mean salvage the documentary?
Isn't that common sense, though, tipping the coach? I feel like when you're well off enough, overpaying guarantees better service in the future, plus the other person will be more willing to do things for you. Maybe this is just my impression, but the thing is that, well, firstly, when somebody gets a thing, that becomes an expectation, not like a bonus. So if you give somebody a tip for something, and then they get a tip the next time, they're not going to be like, wow, you were nice twice in a row. The first time they'll be like, wow, you were nice. The second time they'll be like, yeah, this is my expectation now. And then, so it's not like, so like an expectation is created. And then next, I just like, if there's a service and somebody's good and they're providing you with something that's worth it for you to buy, just like charge what you want for it. I just don't want to be stuck in some like mindfuck world where it's like, I like what you did for me. I appreciate this. And yeah, I'll pay for it. But like, don't make me guess, like, what is the appropriate tip? Or am I like slighting you if I give you too little? Or did I overpay? Just like charge what you think it's worth and then I'll pay for it. I don't know. It's just, I'm not talking about like servers or whatever. Obviously, there's that world, the tipping and everything is built in. But when we're talking about like tipping coaches, really,
and he said his job was to go around and like film Anissa having interactions with everyone. So we didn't know if that meant they were going to make the second documentary about how, or the actual documentary about how like Anissa was responsible for the event, because she did put a lot of work in for the first event and she did put a lot of work in for the second. But at the same time, in the first event, she didn't get credit for it. So she felt like she deserved all the credit. So I think that's why they paid Fraudy Tonic to come film her and follow her around for the second event. But yeah, they flew in a lot of people. They rented out the whole hotel for 300 creators. And when we asked them if Ian's dad was going to be there, because he was there for the first event, they said they couldn't afford to fly Ian's dad in. It was too expensive.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad. And Fraudy Tonic told me directly, because I met him at the hotel, right, where we were all staying at in Tampa for CC2. And he was like, oh, you're the videographer that has all the content of Ian sparring. And I said, yes, I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this documentary, but it never came out. So I heard that you're taking it over now and you're going to help with the editing. And that's when Fraudy Tonic told me that, yeah, Ian and Issa brought out his whole crew from France.
His whole crew?
I think it was just him.
Well, he had a few people that were holding the cameras. He was camera guys. Because the interesting thing was that usually when like someone is a videographer, they would be the one filming most of the time. But it was interesting to me that
he was just directing?
Yeah, he was more directing.
This fucking guy thinks he's Spielberg?
Scorsese.
What the hell's going on?
People with him that were actually doing the work.
I don't remember that, but I do remember for a fact that he had told us that he was flown in to salvage the documentary. Anyway, so we were just offended by that because we were like, what do you mean salvage the documentary? And then him saying that he had no idea how to make the documentary for the first event. I had taken him from like 140 pounds as like never played a sport a day in his life. 10 months later, he ends up fighting Dr. Mike in front of over 10,000 people with 100,000 pay-per-view buys. And the fight itself was like a rocking moment. And then he literally took interviews with everyone before the fights, after the fights. He got all the coaches to interview. And then he said he had no way to make the documentary. So I was just like, how can you not make it?
Yeah.
AB made a documentary.
Everybody made a documentary.
AB, Harley, I was in their documentaries, but I wasn't in Ian's documentary.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad to work on an event, like to work such a big event like
you guys
Creator
are
Clash.
so invested. Yeah.
Because we're so invested.
And it would always drive me crazy because I could tell Ian wasn't really proud of his work. So one of the big things is like it was very hard to get Ian to train because he doesn't like boxing. He doesn't like boxing.
Well, that seems to be somewhat of a problem, a sticking point.
Yeah. So I would try to make the session
because he's boxing, just to be clear. Yeah.
I mean, but I think that's why it was as traumatic as it was for him as well, because he was dealing with like a lot of trauma and a lot of issues when we were in our boxing sessions. And don't get me wrong, that happens with a lot of fighters in general, because fighting's very hard. Like, whether you're fighting MMA, boxing, whatever, it's very hard because you're getting beat up constantly, and then you're supposed to show up to the gym the next day and the next day and the next day. AB can attest to it, right? So it's mentally very hard. So I did feel bad for him because I could tell his heart wasn't into it. So then to be into something like that your heart's not into, that's why I didn't see him once the first event ended. We didn't see him again for several months. And I told him, hey, come in once or twice a week, train for fun, make it fun for yourself. Because when you're in a fight camp, it's not really fun. You just have to keep training.
Right.
But then he never came back. And then so I was like, oh, wow, he really doesn't like boxing. And then he did an interview with Anthony, or the guy from Smosh, and he was talking about boxing, and I was just like, oh, he doesn't like boxing at all, and he's making it like public now the way he was talking about it. And then even in the video where he's trying to promote Creator Clash 3, he said, oh, all I have is 4K footage of me going, and it's like, that's called boxing training, Ian.
That's what boxing looks like.
Yeah, that's literally what you're doing. And then if you notice, after he walked out of the third event and stepped away, he goes, I'm through with this boxing shit. I've been doing it for 4 years. And I was like, well, wait a minute. You trained for 10 months for the first fight. You took 6 months off. You trained 4 months for the second fight. And then you never came back to boxing again for over a year. So I'm like, how are you sick of boxing? Like, you obviously hate boxing. So yeah, so it was hard for me as a coach to just get him to train. Also, like, half of the sessions we have to train Anissa. So every session, instead of being just training for Ian for a fight, I would have to take half of the session and train Anissa.
Whose idea was that?
Hers. Yeah. But the thing about it is, Ian goes along with it, right? Because I feel like if Ian would have said, hey, no, I need the time to train, it might have been different. But he's just like, oh, no, she needs to train before I train.
But she didn't even fight. She wasn't even fighting.
No. And so literally, in the training footage, half of the sessions I had with him would be with her. And then she would come in with like all sorts of drama to the gym. One day she was super dramatic, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? And she related Will Smith slapping to Chris Rock to somehow Ian having to defend her online. So she was like super dramatic the whole day. And I'm like, I can't even train Ian today because she's so dramatic. So that was
Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Keep fucking my mouth.
Jesus.
The slap? Gosh.
Yeah. She came in distraught, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Yeah.
She's on the slapper side, right? Like she was empathizing with Will.
She felt like she felt like Will was Ian.
He had to slap.
Ian has to slap all the people that insult her, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, but anyway,
that's true. Will, I'm not putting this word. This is my observation. Will Smith is one of the most famous cucks. Yeah. And again, that's my analysis, not your guys'. But it is an interesting analogy, right, for them to be idolized, because Jada famously had an affair with her son's friend. You know, so I wonder if that's how they relate more.
Well, I haven't looked into the whole of this, but that show they did on, was it Oprah? What the fuck? What was going on with that? That was so bizarro.
So then the slapping.
Keep fucking my wife's mouth.
You know, yeah, it's just me. I'm doing a little psychology here. Psychology in Los Angeles.
I got a couple questions actually. If you don't mind.
Harley, what's up, man?
Yeah,
please, by all means, chime in anytime.
Okay, yeah, I had a couple questions. Let me get put this up right here properly.
Oh!
What is that? I don't get it. What's the symbol?
Get this in order. Did you guys get any paperwork, by the way? Did you guys sign contracts? The fighters had contracts. I'm curious if the coaches had.
No, we never had a contract.
No.
Oh, interesting, because that would have been like something that would have detailed what's I mean, I guess by word they told you it was charity, and they didn't ever.
Right. Yeah. So and I'm still hoping that the first event was all charity, other than Ian taking his fighter purse. But what was crazy about that is then you said you.
So you ran over this multiple times, but can I know your opinion on Elon being opposed to the bill? Is what he's saying truthful? I don't know what he's saying is truthful. He's a fucking retard. He's probably opposed to the bill because it's just going to massively increase the debt and the deficit. But he's a fucking retard for being opposed to it because everybody knew this was going to happen all the time, and he's an idiot, and nothing. He should never be taken seriously.
Had a $27,000 bonus, and I was always under the assumption that there was no bonus because even though he told me there was a bonus, he then disappeared for 6 months and I never saw him. So I was like, was there a bonus or was there not a bonus?
And you confronted about that? You asked them, or you didn't want to?
No, I just let it be.
Because I'm the same way, by the way. I never spoke about money with Creator Clash. I have a guy on my team that does that. I wanted to not talk about money, and plus it's awkward when it's a charity thing. You're like, I don't want to. Am I going to ask for money?
Yep. Right.
Yeah, and it's awkward when it's your fighter, and then you have to train him for a whole nother event. And I mean, truthfully, like a lot of times fighters will say they're going to pay a coach and then not pay a coach. So that happens sometimes. So truthfully, unfortunately, I'm used to that, right? Where they're like, oh, there's more money coming in.
Do you oppose any of this do you believe any of this so far? I mean, it'd be pretty wild for this guy to just come out and lie if they could just produce receipts showing the opposite, but I mean, I don't know.
And then the more money coming in just goes to them. So you get used to that as a coach. But I am under the assumption that the first event did all go to charity. And then the second event was supposed to go to charity, but instead it went to the hotel, the pre-party, and after party.
Was there a moment
about the after party? Because he said he was using the after party to help promote the event. But I have no idea how an event after the fight will generate money for the fight.
Well, so that's in his most recent video of concern trolling. In the beginning, he says he's explaining how they lost money in the second one, and he goes, the event before the boxing was to promote it, and that sounds reasonable and normal. But I don't think he even mentioned the fact that there was a massive gala after the fight where Anissa got to play as MC and give out awards and shit.
So we actually didn't even know about the gala until about probably maybe less than a week before the event, or a week before the event. The only reason I knew about the gala was because Ian had invited some of his training partners, and they were on the email list, and so they kept telling me there was going to be a gala. And I assumed they were talking about the pre-party, because the first year they did do the pre-party, but it was much smaller. It was on a way smaller scale than the second year. And then also, so we had no idea. So when everyone was asking me about a gala, they're like, what are you going to wear? I was like, I'm going to wear sweatpants. What are you talking about? And then they're like, what? You're going to wear sweatpants to a gala? You're crazy. And I was
the first year, the first year was like a little party thing. It was like a Sweet 16 vibe.
Which is all you need.
Like,
it's
game set up.
Yeah, we had totally... Super Smash Brothers set up. It was in the hotel both years.
That sounds great.
It was much more casual, but if you...
Weird how this thing morphed to be Ian, or Ethan versus Ian, and Hassan just stepped aside. I mean, Hassan used Ian hardcore. I wonder if Hassan was the one who originally contacted iDubbbz about doing that content cop, or if it got floated through Anissa from like Denims or something. But yeah, Ian basically got completely jerked around into doing this thing, and then Hassan has kind of stepped back a little bit. It doesn't seem like he's as actively involved in the fight anymore.
Dressed for that, like I was told specifically to dress nicely for the gala, that there would be pictures and such.
We found out it was a red carpet event that they flew Getty Images in for. So they straight up flew Getty Images to take pictures for the event. But
they're the only. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, when we asked them about it, and I said, hey, is there a gala? And they said, oh, you guys don't even worry about it. You don't have to go to that. And I said, what? This is what Anissa said. And I said, what? And I said, well, some of the sparring
Yes, Hassan admitted it. Did he? Did he say that?
partners got invited. And she said, I don't know how they got on that list. They weren't supposed to be on the list. And in my mind, I'm like, Ian had invited them. He sent them the email personally.
What
right?
a disgusting human being she seems to be. I'm sorry.
She didn't want any other And they said, oh, you guys don't even worry about it. You don't have to go to that. And I said, what? This is what Anissa said. And I said, what? And I said, well, some of the sparring partners got invited. And she said, I don't know how they got on that list. They weren't supposed to be on the list. And in my mind, I'm like, Ian had invited them. He sent them the email personally.
What
right?
a disgusting human being she seems.
These types of stories are always the ones that are the most sus. The ones that I don't know how to explain this, but there are certain types of characterizations of events that are the most prone to lying and building bad stories about people. So I'm not going to sit here and defend Anissa's character because I don't know anything about it. But like, it is possible that they have an event, they've only got so much space or whatever, or they've sent invites to certain people, and then she finds out that, you know, somebody was sending personal emails to invite people, and then you're like, wait, those people weren't supposed to be invited. Like they weren't even supposed to get invites. But it's not said in a way where it's like, they weren't supposed to come, I hate those people, you know? But it could be interpreted that way, or it could be retrospectively interpreted that way. But I don't know enough about that situation. You know?
Supposed to be on the list. And in my mind, I'm like, Ian had invited them. He sent them the email personally.
What
right?
a disgusting human being she seems to be. I'm sorry.
She didn't want any of us there. She only wanted like creators there or people that would, I guess, make her feel like she could get more clout. So she told us we didn't have to come to the event. She doesn't know why we would want to be at the event. And I said, what's the event for? And she said, and it's an award show. And I said, what are the awards for? And she said, they're awards for the boxing. And I said, why wouldn't his coach want to be there? Why wouldn't his team want to be there? I was like, that makes no sense. So everybody else, all the other coaches I talked to, I said, hey, did you guys know about the gala? They said, yeah. I said, did you bring a suit for it? And all of them had freaking like 3-piece suits with like chiefs and everything. I had sweatpants. I'm like,
oh, dude, that's so messed up. Why? It looks like you're the guy connected with the event organizers, and they're explicitly excluding you guys.
I know why. I honestly believe that the reason why Ian and Anissa excluded us and did not want us to know about the gala is because we're both very professional, we're both very direct, and very transparent. If they told us that they're going to throw a huge gala after the fight...
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't invite their coaches, though. That seems kind of... But I don't know what the decorum is or what the etiquette is or what's ordinarily expected for shows. I have no idea.
And it was going to cost a ton of money. We would have asked them, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
because Anissa already told us, she shared with us prior to CC2, like a month before, that they were negative, was it 500K already?
Yeah, she... At the time,
whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
Say that again?
They were negative 500K before the event.
Yes.
So going up to the event with the ticket sales and the PPV sales, when the event started, they knew they were down $500,000.
Yes.
Keep in mind that they moved to a bigger venue and they sold a lot of tickets. But before the event had started, they said we're fine. So the reason we found this out was because I wanted Ian to start doing 2 training sessions a day. And I said, Ian, you need to start doing 2-a-days. And he was like, why should I do 2-a-days? And I told him, I was like, Ian, you're not good at boxing, man. My brand is at stake. So you need to do 2-a-days. That's what pro boxers do. And so I
Wait,
told
did you
him,
actually say that to him?
Yeah, yes. And then I told him, I said, my brand is on the line. I said, you can go back to YouTube. My whole life is fighting and coaching fighters. And I'm like, so if you don't have a good performance, that's going to look bad on me. After the first event, he didn't do any of his cardio. So that's why I ended up gassing out so bad. And I truthfully believe if he would have just done his freaking cardio, that he would have won that fight. But they couldn't do the cardio because 10 weeks before the first event, Anissa wanted them to buy a house. So instead of doing 2 training sessions a day at that point, they had to cut out training to go look to buy a house. And he moved into his new house the week before we left to Florida. So he literally wasn't training like he was supposed to for that whole first event because they wanted to go buy a house when they could have just rented a place for 6 months or a year. And then Ian could have focused on the fight, had the fight, and then found a new place. So I found that super offensive. I'm like, you're not doing anything I'm telling you. And they would lie to me and he would tell me he was doing his road work.
He would lie? Why would he lie? That's like lying to your doctor.
It made no sense because he acted like I told him to do things because I wanted him to do them, and I really wanted him to do things because that would help him win the fight.
Yeah.
So when I told him, hey, you need to do this, he'd be like, and then not really do it. He didn't realize how important cardio was until the second fight.
What do you mean he didn't realize how important cardio is? That's like the entire thing. That's everything. That's the whole thing.
It literally is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, hearing all this, strikes me as ironic because he was always, and Anissa, going on about how they hold boxing in such high esteem and they want everyone to train and this is life or death. This is serious. You get in the ring and people die in the ring. And hearing him speak so loftily and respectfully about boxing, but then hearing he's like, oh yeah, no, I lied to my trainer about running. It's like, what?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that was them regurgitating what I would say. A lot of it, when I would tell them things about boxing, they would go repeat those things. I don't know how much of it was like them actually believing it. But so for that second event, so I tell him he needs to do 2 days. This is like 2 weeks before the fight. I'm like, we need to do your 2 days. And I said, my brand is at stake. Well, he went and told Anissa that I told him my brand was at stake. So the next day she comes into the gym super mad and she's like, our brand is at stake. We're $500,000 in the hole right now.
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that at that time. I think a lot of the fighters would have liked to have known that. I don't think none of them needed to be in the dark about that, you know?
Yes, completely. Well, and that's the thing. They said you guys didn't promote enough, but they weren't honest about the fact that they were spending the money from the ticket sales on the hotel, on flying people in, on all these other things. So, it was just
those decisions, the gala decisions, were made while in the red.
Yes,
I have a question about that.
So she was like, we're already down 500,000. And she still had time to cancel stuff when she said that? Like, how before the event was that?
I mean, it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks before the event. I mean, they
so she could have made some last minute moves. Yeah.
They knew they were 500K in the hole long before that, right? That's just when they yelled at us about it.
Yeah.
So they could have definitely made moves to reduce spending.
We wanted that award show so bad the next day. They really wanted to have that award show so she could give out awards. Once again, you had heard, like Ian said, he didn't want to have the fight just end and have everybody go home the next day.
He said, I'll quote him because it's very rich. He says that the first time afterwards, he woke up and everybody was gone. And he found it super depressing because he didn't get a chance to process his trauma, which seems a little bit hyperbolic, frankly, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's like a self-inflicted charity event. I wouldn't call that exactly I wouldn't put that up with like maybe like fighting in a war. I don't know. But but I guess we all define trauma differently. But so he goes, so in that case, I wanted to throw a party afterwards where we could all talk to each other and process our trauma. And then he says, we lost money, but I don't regret throwing the after party.
Yeah,
I think that was a lot of her words because like he would say things that she would say. And so, for example, he said, well, we thought inviting Hassan and all those other people was going to translate to more buys, pay-per-view buys.
They didn't even promote. They didn't even care.
No, it made no sense to me. I'm like, people don't watch fights because Denzel Washington's in the crowd. They're not like, Denzel Washington's there. I need to watch the fight.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. And if they would have taught, so a lot of decisions before the first event, they like spoke with us about, because I know boxing. I've been around boxing my entire life. So I'm like, oh, I could help them with all these other things. And then for the second event, I felt like they wanted to make it much more like their own version of a TwitchCon, their own version of a VidCon.
That's what he said, yeah.
She said that she wanted to be like a VidCon. And we are new to the YouTube world. Like, we never been to a VidCon. And she's like, you guys haven't been before, but it's super cool where all these famous YouTubers come and everybody gets to vibe out. And so I was just like, is it like Comic-Con?
Yeah, he was really mad the first year that like, because she would always talk about a certain group of people. It was like somebody named Pokimane and all these other people. And she would always talk about how she wants like them to be there and she wants to be a part of their group. So a lot of it, and then so that's why like, and then the first year was like during that girl's birthday party. So
no, sorry. Knowing that detail, it breaks my heart that she had to settle for denims.
Yeah. I don't even know these people, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only people I really know in the YouTube world is you guys, because you guys were so nice to us. Like, we got more clout from being on your show than we ever did from working with Ian, because he would never show any of the work we did. He would never, and then everybody else, it drove me crazy. Like, AB would shout out his coach, Wale, Lucky Boy, and then
AB has great coaches. Wait, what is Ian's perspective on this? Or what was the reason given for that? Why would they never shout out their coach or anything? Did they make any content with this guy, or what?
AB was all about it, man. And you know, the coaches deserve a lot of credit for what you guys, especially you guys who were involved with the freaking event, the management of the whole event, you know?
Right. Yeah. Mike Leonardi even said after the second event ended, when it was just him and I talking, and Mike Leonardi was like, man, these events wouldn't even happen without you. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, because he knows about the drama that I have to deal with training Ian and how hard it was to get him to train.
Yeah.
And so, because I think he knew Mike knew that I think Ian didn't like boxing either, just by the way, like he would interact with boxing.
So this guy, Mike, you mentioned him to me. I wasn't sure. He's the fight promoter?
They have hours and hours of footage. They didn't use it because Ian is embarrassed.
So he was the manager that they got in touch with. So what happened, man, the story of this event was amazing. Like Ian had to reach out to all these people and they were weird. And then he reached out to Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao hooked him up with a guy. And then that guy ends up putting him on a phone call. And that's how they met Mike Leonardi. And so Mike was a manager in Vegas and he knows promoters and he knows how to promote boxing events. And so the actual promoter was a guy named Ryan Rickey, who's like friends with Coach John Thompson, Jesse Thompson, and this guy Coach.
That's my opinion based on what has been said. Okay.
Rick.
That's Harley's coach.
Yeah, Jesse Thompson's Harley's coach. So anyways, he hooks us up with all these guys in Florida, and that's how we were able to throw the event. But it was like the craziest set of circumstances for us to end up where we ended up. So I wish Ian would have told this story. He should have been proud of the story.
Right.
I had a quick question. Sorry.
You want to go or should I go?
Oh, I was going to say...
sorry, I'm being silly. Go ahead.
Roll it.
Oh, Hila had a funny comment. She said, Hila donated. I hate when she does that. Why is she giving money to Google? That's our money. Anyway, she said too much dumping in here. You guys, stop. This is not what podcasting is.
I know. I was afraid this was going to be an emotional dumping ground. And I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't sound like
Anyway, sorry, Harley, go ahead.
I was going to ask, because just your opinion, do you think that they were intentionally misleading with any of this or just sloppy in their execution and communication?
Just sloppy. I think it was just sloppy. Like, that's the thing. Like, I still freaking, I always had the best. You want to be around people that want the best for you. And I always wanted the best for Ian. And so I always felt like, man, like, we're going to break through. We're going to have this moment where we break through and things are going to be good. But then they never were. So in my mind, I think they just got sloppy. I think they thought in the second event they were going to do millions of dollars in pay-per-view sales. And so I think that's why they went so far in the hole, because they just assumed they were going to get these huge pay-per-view sales.
Just to be clear, Hila's joking. I don't know if you guys know that. The dumping thing is a joke about something Ian said. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want you guys to think that I was... You guys dump away, please. We're here to dump. Yeah. You mentioned something. So this guy, Michael, he left. Mike. So he left.
You need to watch the Idubbbz vs. Dr. Mike match. It was brutal. Is there a link to it somewhere? Like, are we allowed to watch it, or do you get copyright struck? Also, hold on one sec.
Creator Clash, and went and started working for Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And he scheduled the Jake Paul event for the same day. Ian's old guy. He did, and he had to do that on purpose, right?
I think he still owns Creator Clash, that guy. I think he's still part of it. Well, it's just when you have like a Jake Paul, you can, like, that's your thing. That's going to take priority over everything for sure. Like, the event is 100 times bigger than Creator Clash at its best. But I think he's still involved with Creator Clash.
So, but then why would he do it on the same day if it wasn't Menace Shade?
It's a great day.
It's crazy.
It's so crazy to me. When we saw that, I was like, because we already knew it was the same night as it. So first of all, Ian never even reached out to me at all for Creator Clash 3. That's one of the big things I want from this is to like, because what happens when Ian messes with you or messes with these other people, a lot of it comes back onto me and either my YouTube channel or my Instagram, where people start putting a bunch of comments on my stuff. It's probably happening to Harley. It happens to everybody that's related to it, right?
Well, like what? What do they say?
They say fraud coach.
They're shit. What?
They talk about the sparring videos. People want to see sparring videos, but Ian never put out any of my filming, so people think that Michael didn't see
so people in the comments, they'll say, oh my gosh, you never had him spar, that's why he lost the fight. Oh, you didn't have him do this, that's why I lost the fight. And I'm like, if he would have released the footage, they would say we did all of those things. But now I have to try to stick up for myself and have my YouTube be an emotional dumping ground in my comment section. To try to protect myself, or my brand. And so it was just crazy to me because.
Horrible.
Sorry about that, guys. Ian, now is not your time. We'll have time for you. Sorry about that. He's intolerable. Hila is loving this, by the way. She just gifted 20 members. Loving this. So, Ian almost has the superpower. Maybe it's Anissa together, but they say great leaders inspire loyalty. It seems that everybody in his life, he's forced to be disloyal. He has like negative leadership. What do you call that? What is negative leadership?
Abuse.
Abuse? Okay.
Yes.
So you think it's so I guess quantify that. Did you feel like abuse? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the reason why I say it's abusive is because like, for example, the bonus, right? They mentioned it to me, Michael, that they're going to give a bonus after CC1. And then after the event was so great, they just went rogue on us, It's interesting because we invite them to our house for Thanksgiving. We're so nice to them. We open up our lives to them. They've met my kids, like our kids, and everything. But then once the work is done and they don't need us, they kind of just put us at bay and they make it uncomfortable for us to reach out to them. Or if we reach out to them, they don't respond. So treating us like we're not really in their inner circle, which makes no sense because we worked with them for CC1, CC2. Michael and I have traveled with them to LA, Vegas, Florida. Keep in mind that when we were in Florida with them, we were with them for 2-3 weeks at a period of time. That's a long time to be with someone. You learn so much about the person. And then you start to realize, wow, everything that, I don't want to say, their enemy's name, what's his name? Sam? Like, I don't want to say he's right, but when we saw that video drop,
no,
I was
he's
like,
right.
oh my God.
You could say it.
I was like,
the one where he's like, well, hold on. So there's a video of Sam Hyde and he goes, she's going to ruin his life. Mark my words. I guarantee it. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, and he said was the one that showed it to us because we didn't know nothing.
What was funny too is like,
I was just thinking about that on the way to work because I saw that clip too. And I was like, damn, like Sam fucking, he was right.
Yeah.
Well, so what's crazy to me is like, so for example, when Ian did your show for Creator Clash 2, he was